What's up, fight fans? This is Kirk DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oleksandr Usyk. I am very feel. And Martin Bakole. Get this. Usyk reacts to the claims that he was stopped in sparring by the heavyweight rival. Martin Bakole made headlines recently for insisting that he stopped the unified heavyweight champion of the world during a sparring session in preparation for the rematch with Anthony Joshua. And this is what Usyk had to say. He said, people can make up different stories, but people shouldn't necessarily believe everything they hear. Do not forget that boxing is not only a sport, but also a show. Therefore, many want to draw attention to themselves for PR or other purposes. So he's waved off the claims that he was stopped. Okay. And let me counterpunch. I think Martin Bakole is a hard-hitting fighter. I just seen his recent sparring sessions where he knocked the gear off of Joe Joyce. And Joe Joyce didn't budge, but I mean, those punches were landing like blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was throwing some hard shots. Now, the thing that got me is I'm not going to read it, but later on they said, well, would you bring Martin Bakole back? He was like, yeah, I'll bring him back if he's needed. So that just shows you he's not really bitter about any of the other or this claim that wasn't true. Like, yeah, I'll bring him back, but, I'm not really co-signing that. But, people do that to bring attention to themselves. And that's the only real true thing that you can grab, that you can extract from Martin Bakole just coming out and saying, hey, yeah, by the way, I stopped Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk. He had to want a name for himself because those are noticeable names, and those two guys are supposed to be fighting each other, hopefully, for Dubois' sake, right? So, yeah, those would be the names that you would want to mention if you want to stay credible in this business. People know, and they've learned over the last 5 years, if you keep talking about a fighter, talking can raise your profile without even fighting. And I think Martin Bakole was trying to do exactly that because he's seen that, monkey see, monkey do. So in that analogy, Martin Bakole is trying to do the same thing. Hey, I knocked them both out. Daniel Dubois, he hasn't responded, but, or he stopped Oleksandr Usyk. And I'm thinking like, okay, how would you and why would you stop someone in the sparring session? You know what I mean? But Oleksandr Usyk has waved it off. And he's welcomed Martin Bakole back in his training if he's needed, which he won't be for Tyson Fury. Maybe for Daniel Dubois, right? But not for Tyson Fury. And then I guess they will have that conversation then behind closed doors. And they will probably, make him sign something where, a non-disclosure that, hey, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about what goes on in sparring. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Oleksandr Usyk responding and denying to Martin Bakole's claims that he stopped him in sparring. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.